Hey everybody, it's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. Let's get started with Ready to Love. This is season 4, the cast assessment. I watched. Tommy had his wife on. She is a doll. She was very entertaining. I was happy they did that cast introduction together. I like getting to see her because I never knew who his wife was. But I'm excited about this cast. First I'm going to go through the top. I'm going to go through the males, then the females of the cast. We have a surprise returning guest. We'll get to that last, but I'm sure many of you already know. And then I want to give you my top 3 women and men that I'm rooting for to find love. These are the people just by first impressions. You saw how that first impressions got me last season. But just by first impressions, who I really feel like wants love, is ready for love, and I really hope they can connect maybe with each other and find a genuine relationship. Because last season, it was just who can make it to the end. That was it. Who can make it to the end and who can get their Instagram and Twitter followers up. That was it. But I'm excited about this cast. A lot of people I like. A lot of people, like I said, I got my eye on them already. But let's get to it. Up first is Joel. He's a drilling fund manager. For whatever reason, I couldn't catch his age, but he is fine. I think he's very handsome, and his accent, that New Orleans accent, the way he talks, it got me. Maybe that's why I couldn't pay attention to his age. I like him. He says he should have been a comedian. He seems like he's funny. I don't know. I didn't see any jokes, but this is just first impressions. He has 8-year-old twins, and what pulled at my heartstring is that he was married before. His wife passed away from cancer, and she was given like 90 days to live, so now he's a single father with the 8-year-old twins. And I was like, oh, he's looking for someone to love, but they have to love his children more than they even love him. And I understand, because at one point in time, I was a single mom before I got married. So I understand that. He's one of my star players. Like, he's one of the star cast members that he pulled at my heart. I love that accent, and I really hope he finds love. Up next is Jason. Jason is a teacher. He's 36 years old. I said cute. He said he's been playing basketball every level his whole life, from elementary, high school, I think he said college, overseas, a little bit of professional, and he has a youth organization called I Am. I like Jason. Jason is one of my star players too. He says, I feel like Jason has trust issues. He says he was on a date, and out of nowhere, the date just said, do you want to be my sugar daddy? And he said it was a group of women behind him. They're like, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm like, if you need some strangers at another table to tell you not to be a sugar daddy, what's wrong with you? You should have known from yourself not to do that, unless you're prepared. Unless you're prepared for that type of pay and play relationship. Anyway, he said he was in a long-term relationship and he was just ready to get engaged. I think he said he had the ring. He was getting ready to propose. His co-workers, I'm assuming they all work together. Was it another teacher? Scandalous in the schoolhouse. His co-workers got together and made a group text, put him in it, just so they could tell him, man, your girl's cheating on you. Open up your eyes. She having an affair with old dude in the math department. And so he said he confronted his girlfriend, and she was just like, so? Okay, I'm just happy. It seems like this season people are giving their true occupations. Like he said, I'm a teacher, not no educational manager or educational special fund. Like, just say you're a damn teacher. I like teachers. A lot of my great friends are teachers. I like him. And I feel like he got a little bit of NBA money saved, so that teacher salary really probably not hurting him like some people. But moving on, he is one of my star players. I said in my notes, I said, I hope he doesn't find Anaya, because it seems like he lives a high class lifestyle, even though he's a teacher. He has some of that basketball money saved up. And it seems like women may want him for his money. And I'm like, please don't run into Anaya. Moving on. Derek is a 47-year-old chef. Derek, is something about Derek I can't put my finger on, but it's something. He's had 2 marriages. He has grown daughters, 26, 21, but he wants a son. He said, if this lady here where children is off limits, he don't want to talk to you. And you have to understand, some ladies here don't have any children and they're at that biological clock level where they want a child. Some ladies already had a family, like me, 42, and children are off the table. Like, no ma'am, ain't no starting over here. So we gotta see how that play out, because I feel like some ladies here already have their kids and they done, and some ladies talking about they clock. But what happens if you get her pregnant and it's another girl? Are we gonna have to keep going and going and going until you get a son? Like, that's ridiculous. Can you afford, some kind of, what do they call it, in vitro, where they can put it together and guarantee it's a boy? I don't know. But he says he doesn't like dating in Houston because it's all about the money. Why do I feel a little bit shady today? But I feel like most people who say it's all about the money is people who don't have none. That was shady. I don't know what his coins look like. But I feel like it goes. I've heard it all, because I have single male friends and single guy friends. Single male friends and single female friends. And I have heard where the guys be like, they just want money. They just want you to buy them bags and take them on vacations. And I've heard the females say where it's all about the sex. So I'm like, y'all just need to meet each other. The people who ain't with it's all about, the all abouts. Okay, up next, AJ. I wrote Chi-Town. I marked down everybody who's from Chicago because I live close. I grew up close to Chicago. I'm not in Illinois anymore. I said AJ was cute. He's a 38-year-old musical producer. He gave me player vibes. He said he's hit Houston hard. He said he's probably already dated half the women in Houston. He said he won't be surprised if he don't see some of his casualties at the Ready to Love functions. I feel every season we get people who know each other, so I'm assuming he's gonna be one. It'd be trash if it's about 5 of the 10 he's already been through. That would be trash. But anyway, he doesn't like to date fellow musicians, and he's all about the F's. The lady has to be fit, fine, freaky, funny, financially sound, every F you could think of. He said some more, but I only could catch those 5 and write them down real quick. All I have to say is, if you require this from your woman, I hope you can give it back to her in return. I feel like you already fit and fine. I don't know about your freaky level. I don't know about your funny level. And I don't know about your finances. But if you require all of that, you better be giving it in return. Moving on is Christian, 36 years old. He's a mailman. He says he thinks women like his uniform. I said, no, sir. Women like them benefits. People who work for the government have great benefits. I know. I ain't gonna shout out where I work, but y'all know I work for the military, accountant, whatever. Christian is cute. He said one year he woke up at a stop sign. He was drunk, so that caused him to go to an AA meeting. He's now sober for 3 years. He's very vulnerable, but he's changed because he said he used to only want sex from women, but he's changed and he's ready to find love. I hope so, boo. I'm rooting for you. You ain't one of my star players, but at least you were honest. He was honest. Up next is Ron, who is a corporate salesman, and he also has many small businesses. I ain't writing down, but he looks to be doing well for himself. He said he's not scared of marriage. He's scared of divorce. He saw his dad go through financial distress when he divorced his mom. And he says not only did he see his dad go through once, but he's seen his dad go through it twice. So apparently his dad has been divorced twice. It seems like he's more focused on the finances of the divorce. Maybe his dad had to shell out some alimony, some child support. He didn't talk about the emotions that his dad went through from the divorce. Ron is someone you ladies have to keep your eye out and really listen to what he's saying, because just from this first impression, he gives me marriage is only a piece of paper vibe. Like, he's one of those men who might just want to date for 20 years and never get married, have a whole bunch of kids, but never get married. And y'all can do everything that married people do, but go to the courthouse and get that piece of paper. He gives me that vibe. So if you are the type of female that values that piece of paper, listen to what Ron is telling you. Let's hurry this up. Troy. Troy is 51, a regional manager. I did not like Troy. I did not like him, mostly because maybe I was a little bit offended as a big girl. He was kind of like, I don't want no big girls. And then he said, it wasn't how he said it, because he said it like, I don't want any thick women. He didn't say big, but let's just call it what it is. I don't want no big girls. Then he took it back and said, no, I want to say I'm not attracted to big girls. He said, I like them small and petite. And I said, that's probably because just from this camera angle, you look small and petite. So you probably need somebody your size. I don't know. I just didn't like the way it came across. He had an arrogance. Tommy and his wife called it a confidence. I forgot the funny way they called it confident. But it was an arrogance to me, so I don't like Troy. I could be in my feelings, but I don't like him. Moving on. Up next is a star player. This is my third star player for the men. Khalil. I think I spelled his name wrong. 41-year-old teacher. And Troy ass had the nerve to be 51. But moving on. Get out your feelings, child. Khalil is 41. I like Khalil. I like his honesty. His story is he was in a very bad car accident. And from that car accident, he made lifelong decisions. You can make a rash decision when you see your life flash before your eyes. He said the woman who nursed him back to health was from the UK. She got him a visa. He went over there. They got married. He wasn't comfortable because he didn't have a job or a career set up over there. So eventually they got the marriage annulled. Not even divorced, but annulled. So, you know, you got to have some special circumstances. But anyway, he says he's now ready for love because that marriage was a mistake. He says he likes the dark-skinned, thick women. I said, well, you got some good choices on this cast. I hope you find somebody. I really like him. I guess I just like the honesty. Maybe I just feel bad for the people with a sad story. I don't know. I like the honesty of him saying he knew he made a rash decision for that reason. But let's move on from Khalil. He's my last star player for the men. And last, but definitely not least, is David, the real estate agent / investor. He's another one I would keep my eye on. His side hustle is to officiate weddings. He's had 2 marriages and 4 children. The first marriage was a mistake. The second marriage, he was ready to get married, but he picked the wrong woman. His parents just got divorced after 40 years of marriage, and that really hurt him. I can imagine. My parents have been married, if I'm 42, 41 years. They got married when I was 1 year old. If they were to get divorced today, that would break me down because they are like my example. I don't know any other example of a great marriage but my parents. So I can imagine that. He has 7 siblings. They're all close. He's a romantic. He gives me the type of person who just loves to be in love. Like, I feel like he just loves so much that he doesn't take the time to get to know the person. He just likes that honeymoon feeling of it all. And then once that honeymoon feeling of it all wears off, he's out. That's what I feel about David, but I could be wrong. He was also cute. He another one that distracted me, and I ain't write down his age. But moving on, let's go through the ladies. Up first is Vernisha, a 39-year-old salon owner. She has 3 daughters. I like her style. I really do. She's been single for 10 years, but she was previously in an 8-year relationship where her partner, she said, was a habitual. That means habit forming. It's a habit for him to cheat. He was a cheater and was extremely controlling. He controlled the money, and I don't like no controlling ass man. So I'm happy that she got out of that. And she says the most she wants is a father figure for her daughters, and she has to trust you around her daughters. And I understand people around here are crazy. I know this is a TV show, all good, whatever, but you just can't have anybody around your daughters. You have to, your sons either, but really your daughters, because people crazy. And let's move on from that. I like Vernisha. No, she's not one of my star players, but I do hope she finds love. She kind of reminds me of a Danny. No, it's another one that reminds me of Danny. Moving on. Number 2, I can't pronounce this child's name, so I'm just going to call her Chris. I want to know, where did this name come from? It has to be some kind of ethnic name. I ain't going to even begin to pronounce it. I'm going to mess it up. She's a 39-year-old flight attendant, very beautiful. She gives me the, every season is one. Like the Alexis, the one where all the men just want to date them. She gives me that vibe of this season. I don't know. She says she feels like her job hinders her from finding love because she's a flight attendant. She says she can be gone for 6 days at a time. And people act like they don't know how to work the phone. People act like the phone only works one way. I'm bad at that too. But people piss me off with that when they're like, girl, you ain't called me in 2 months. I'm like, well, bitch, the phone works 2 ways. You ain't called me neither. I understand, girl. She's a social butterfly, but she says she ain't worried about no competition. She said, you could be my friend, but when it comes down to these men, the man that I want is going to be my man. I ain't mad at you, girl. Fight for your love. She also said something that gave me at least she was honest. She said she was looking for a provider. She ain't looking for nobody to build. You already got to have your shit together. And I guess at 39, I would be too. At 29, I might be looking for someone who we could build something together. I could build you up, help you out. But at 39, you got to have your shit together. I ain't mad at you for saying that. Moving on. Number 3 is Alexis. She said her nickname is Fly. I said, girl, you lying. You lying. Because I came up in that era when people said, oh, that's Fly Girl, that's Fly outfit. The Fly Girls on In Living Color. I ain't never heard nobody call nobody Fly. You said this for this show, but moving on, Alexis. I like you. She's a 35-year-old TV producer, a former first lady. She was not here for you calling her husband at 2 o'clock in the morning needing prayer. Go to sleep. Jesus can hear your prayers just like he can hear the pastor's prayers. Pray for yourself. Anyway, she says dating in Houston is all about sex. And that reminds me of my best friend. I ain't going to say her name, but if she watches this, she know we had this conversation many a times where she has told me, she was like, you get on the dating app, all they want to do is send me a nude. Send me your titties. Send me your ass. Can we hook up? They don't even want to take you out on a date. So it's crazy. I blame you women who are down for it. Now, it ain't nothing wrong if you want to have a little bit of sex on the first date. It ain't nothing wrong if you just want to get you some. But don't make it a habit, habitual, to where now all men feel like, I ain't got to do no work. I ain't got to do nothing. Show me your titties, show me your ass. We gonna have sex or not? Okay, move on, because the next woman will. I hate that it's like that. I hate that it's all about sex. But moving on, she has a little boy. I don't like that she says he's the head of the house because he pays man bill. But the little boy ain't here for the dating. A lot of kids aren't, especially if he's 5 and he's only known you to be with his dad. I don't know how long you have been divorced from the pastor, but I can understand that. Let's move on. Stacy is a 39-year-old insurance agency owner. Okay, I had to write that down. She was married for 10 years to an NBA player, so we know she coined up. She got that alimony and that child support. Stacey is extremely beautiful. I was like, God, she is really gorgeous. It's a lot of gorgeous ladies this season. What did she say? She said for the long time she was married to the NBA player. She put up with this shit probably because she liked the lifestyle. But then she said, no, ma'am, I ain't got time to be running around fighting over you. They have 3 children. She said the 19-year-old did not want to go off to college because he didn't want to leave his mom and sisters in the house by themselves. He could have went to college in y'all hometown, child. Just say that the child didn't want to go to college. But moving on, she wants a partner. She seems like she wants somebody who also has their stuff together. And was she the one who said she wants to take her cape off? I can't remember. A lot of these ladies are doing the damn thing for themselves, and they just want somebody not to take care of them, but just sometimes you just want to lighten your load. Like, I know for me, it's some shit I just don't want to do. I'm clearly capable of taking care of myself 100% if I had to. But sometimes you just want to come home and you don't want to make every decision. You don't want to change no light bulbs or unclog the sink. Like, I don't want to do none of that shit. My car break down, go ahead and get it fixed for me. You know, sometimes you just want to take your cape off and not have to do everything. But anyway, nope, she's not a star player either. Sorry, girl, I like you, Stacey. Andrea is another flight attendant, 38 years old. She's been single 17 years, and I have questions. Now, I'm sure a lot, because I was watching this with my husband. Surprisingly, he watched this with me, because he ain't down for these type of shows. She hasn't had a man. Now, I know she's probably dated. I'm sure she's probably had some good sex. But since 2004, you haven't had anybody to say, that's my man? She said her clock is ticking and she's looking for love. I hope you find it, Andrea, girl. Now, she's not a star player, but the next one is a star player because the way she said she's been single for 17 years, it touched me. Number 1 is Liz. Well, I don't know what number it is, but Liz is a 40-year-old production company owner. Liz is absolutely gorgeous. Like, when I look at her headshots that she was putting up, I'm like, she looks like she could have been a Miss America or a Miss USA. Just absolutely stunning. And I love her style. Like, every piece of fashion she had on, I said, yes, I love it. I said, how is she single for 17 years? I mean, no man. She says her last relationship was right out of high school and that he was cheating on her and she finally just got tired of his shit. And I feel like Liz probably got so hurt by that relationship right out of high school. So I'm assuming right out of high school, they might have dated and she stopped dating him at 19, 20. I don't know, Liz, girl. But I think whatever that man did to her, hurt her, whatever that backstory is, she ain't putting up with no shit. And so I feel like that's why Liz has been single for 17 years. You can't BS her. She ain't got time for your baby mama drama. She ain't got time for you to be out at 2 o'clock in the morning and not answering your phone. She gives me the first red flag you show her she's out. She ain't got time for it. I ain't mad at you, girl. I hope she finds love. She reminds me of Danny. Like, she is my Danny this season. Like, she is the number 1 person that I'm like, oh, I really hope you find a sincere person. If she can't find a sincere person, I hope she's like Danny and is the first one out and don't waste your time. Because I really like her. I really do. But moving on, we almost done. Ida is a 37-year-old development manager. Is that what it is? I like Ida. Ida is a star player of mine. She looks like the fun person of the party. Like, I could hang out with her. Them vacation pics, she looked like somebody I could kick it with on vacation. She said her mama taught her something, and I agree because my mama taught me the same thing. She said, always have your own and don't ever put yourself in a position where you have to rely on a man. Not saying don't be in love. Not saying, because like I said, my mom has been married for 41 years. But she taught me and my sister that at a very young age. She said, always have your own money. Don't ever be in a position where you need somebody and you can't walk away because you need that person. Oh, no, ma'am. I've always worked. People say that about me all the time. I've always worked from the age of 16. I've always had, I can't recall ever not having a job. I can't. I've always done for myself because my mother taught me that. And I am one where if you leave, you want to act up, you want to leave, okay, I can still pay this rent by myself. I like her. They all been in relationships where somebody cheated. She says she's a very vocal person and she could cuss less. Can't we all? Can't we all? I like Ida. Up next is my third star player for the women, and that's Tressa. She's a comedian from Chicago. I probably just gave her that third star because she's from Chicago. Oh well. She's the thick one on the show, and I like that. I like the thick ones because I'm thick. She said men don't find comedians sexy, and they don't want to date people who's they have to laugh at. I don't know. Is that true? I want to ask somebody like some more Adele Givens. Like, is that true? I would love to, but see, I'm a female. I would love to date someone who can make me laugh. But anyway, she said no homosexuals. She said if the man come over your house and ask you if they could wash a load of clothes, they ain't got no home, child. Leave him alone. Send him to the laundromat. She said she was married at 19 and she was married for 13 years and she left him because she was tired of paying all the bills. And I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. Don't nobody want a man they got to take care of. At least I don't. I don't. I like sharing, caring, but I don't want to have to pay all the bills because you'd be like, I couldn't pay all the bills by myself, and it'll be a little bit cheaper. Anyway, the last two I like, they're both attorneys. They give me the same vibe. Amber is a 31-year-old attorney. I ain't even writing nothing down about Amber because she gave me the same vibe. She seems always busy. Can't nobody change her mind about nothing. Stubborn. I could see Amber being gone first. She gives me that Simone vibe. 10, Kyra, 34-year-old attorney. She had a college sweetheart, but he was a serial cheater. I'm like, is that a check mark on y'all application? Have you all had to have dated serial, habitual, ain't shit, cheating ass men in Houston? Is that the criteria to get on this show? I don't know. She says she's ratchet and classy. She's a little bit of Cardi and a little bit of Michelle. I said, me too, boo. So I like her. Surprise, KG Smooth is back. I like KG Smooth. Danny pissed me off more than anybody on this entire franchise. I hope she's found somebody to pay her mortgage by now. But I'm happy KG Smooth gets another chance at love. He was one of those ones who I judged at the first impression because, he came out in that shiny pink suit with the whole thing of baby oil on his chest. And I was like, I ain't got time for it. But once I got to know KG, I was like, okay, he deserves some love. I wish he could have hooked up with maybe Danny. I wish Danny could have got a second chance at love. I don't know why I like Danny so much. I think she just touched my spirit. But why she don't get no second chance? Anyway, that's it. I forgot the 3 things I was going to talk about. I think that was it. I went through the whole cast. I gave y'all my star players. And I told y'all the surprise. If I was supposed to discuss something else, I forgot. Anyway, the season looks good. I can't wait for it to start next week. It seemed like they already getting ready to eliminate somebody after the first episode. And Tommy, that was the one thing I wanted you not to do. I wanted you to let these people have at least one episode to get to know each other, then start sending people home. But I ain't a producer, ain't my show. I can't wait to review and talk to you all about this. I know Ready to Love is a big show on my channel that people like to come watch the reviews and talk about. So I can't wait to get it started. If you like Ready to Love and you haven't subscribed to me in the past, go ahead and hit subscribe right now. Get in the comments. We're going to have a good time. Share, like, all that good stuff. And I'll see y'all Friday, Saturday. You know, I review the next day. All right. Bye.